Y'all know I love Disney animation, man. Y'all know that. That's why I'm getting. A lot of people think. A lot of people. What's up?
It's just a funny way to go into this.
Hey, man, that's what it is.
Mistress, I have a little bit of news.
Don't ruin my morning.
I love Disney animation. Y'all think I'm getting that Disney Plus for all the Marvel stuff they got on there? No, I'm getting on there so I can just relive my childhood and watch all those old Disney animated films on there. I used to watch them in clips because I used to try to draw them. I just watch my favorite scenes. So I didn't need to buy this stuff anymore. But now I can get Disney Plus and try to make up for lost time.
You ain't gonna watch.
You ain't gonna watch this shit. But you know what? No, I ain't. Why am I live? I was like, you ain't gonna watch a goddamn thing.
You gonna waste that money.
I'm gonna be watching Spider-Man again.
Exactly.
But you know what? I mean, who's to say I still might watch it in parts because I tell you, man, those were some amazing, not just artistry, but amazing characters that they had. And a lot of times, the best characters that they had were their villains.
Oh yeah,
I gotta tell you, Maleficent.
Oh
yeah, Maleficent, man. She was a bad bitch, man.
sure.
But not only that, not only was she a bad bitch. I mean, look at her. Don't give a f. She knows it too. I'm running shit in here. Look, where that girl at?
That bitch, yeah, she still asleep?
Yeah, y'all owe me a little white girl. She was a memorable villain. Because that's one of the things I loved about Sleeping Beauty, man. Sleeping Beauty, it was a fairy tale, and it was kind of, it followed the whole, all the tropes of the fairy tale. The damsel in distress and the hero that came to get her.
I mean, of the Disney movies, story wise, it's probably one of the lightest. But the art style, I love.
Well, it's the one of the lightest, but it's as far as story goes, it's the lightest. But that art style is amazing. And unlike some of your other fairy tales, they had some bad shit in there, man. Like the part where you have Maleficent, where she turns into a dragon.
Now shall you deal with me, O prince, and all the powers of hell.
And that was the part too where she just.
That was scary.
You watched that as a kid and as a cartoon. She said, "I'm bringing all the powers of hell on you, mother."
Now shall you deal with me and all the powers of hell.
Even
He's like, oh shit. The bitch ain't that far. I'm sorry. A lot of people saying stuff.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yeah, I f***ed up.
Yeah, his mind is blown.
Yeah, he's like, look, I'll go to sleep.
Yeah.
Cool. The animation style is a lot like Sword in the Stone.
Yeah, they went through a period where
They're
the
doing
animation
like that.
style was like that. They were getting more graphic, and this is right before the period where they started like kind of Xeroxing the
cells.
the drawings on the cells. But this was a very graphic style that they had right here. But the other thing is that
color.
the colors and everything. But but everything in this movie is great as far as the animation goes, and in the character herself. She's not only such a not only is she such a great piece of animation, but there's some great acting that goes on with that character too.
I really felt quite distressed at not receiving an invitation.
You weren't wanted.
Not what? Oh dear. I had hoped it was merely due to some oversight.
Bitch!
I know. She's about to do something.
Yeah, she was like,
But that's why the 2014 movie did a great job at bringing the character to live action. Because one of the things that I liked that they did here was, in order to kind of keep to that graphic art style, they actually did it to where they designed the live action characters to have like those same sharp angles.
Yeah, the prosthetics in her
cheekbones
face to give her a very
those cheekbones. There was
Like
some.
you could cut your hand on her.
Man, you could chop a tree down with them cheekbones. But they did a really good job at capturing that. Now, the thing that I like about the movie is not that I'm crazy about the movie itself. I mean, I liked it in concept probably more than I did full execution.
In execution, yeah.
But I did admire the movie. For one, I admired it because it wasn't another Lion King. Wasn't something where they tried to go in and do just a straight frame by frame remake or recreate the most memorable scenes. It is light on story, so you have to kind of go ahead and give them credit for going in and trying to elaborate on the story by not retelling it, but going in and doing a reexamination
Yeah.
of the main character of Maleficent, who in the first origin story, where she's not the person that you thought she was. She wasn't evil like you thought she was. She was actually sort of anywhere. She could either be anywhere from misunderstood to an anti-hero. And now looking forward to this movie, you wonder, all right, well, they were able to do something with that and expand the story. And listen, if that was just the origin story and it was kind of better in concept than in execution, well, I mean, surely this one is going to be able to elaborate more in order to...
Don't call me Shirley.
Surely this will elaborate more to where we can even get a fuller story of not only Maleficent, but also the many other characters in this kingdom and where their stories go from there. Is that the case? No, Martin said, no, you me. But what about me? I haven't said a thing. I'm just laughing at this man over here. I didn't know, he doesn't speak for me.
I'm going to just be quiet.
But let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Maleficent 2. Mistress of Evil. Oh, she evil again? What happened?
She was never really evil in 2014.
Oh, but in this one, they say, no,
she evil.
No, the bitch is back.
You do not know me.
You don't know me? Shit, you lucky I ain't killed your ass yet.
You've spent years caring for a human to care for your own.
I'm going to say this. I thought that the movie had a great setup because they did kind of elaborate more on the kingdom itself, man. And they did it with one character that I really liked, and it was Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer as Queen Ingress, man. I liked her, man, because right from the bat, she's just a straight up bitch. I mean, they ain't even trying to hide it. What I liked about her is that she's one of them women that really does. She need a reality show because she loves to stir up shit, man.
She does.
She loves to stir up shit. She gossip, try to make people look bad. And on the other end, she's like Trump, because she's because she kind of racist too. She's like Trump. She don't like fairies. Mm-mm. She saw a bunch of fairies having a barbecue. She called the police. I need a manager on these fairies. Yeah. But she's like Trump in that I don't like these fairies. She spreads rumors about them. She divides the land and turns people against each other.
She's building a wall.
She's trying. She said, if I can't build them, I fucking kill all of them. But the thing that really sells a villain, man, is just their attitude. And that is the thing about her that really made me mad. She's one of those people who she had, because she's got this passive aggressive nature about her. And most people kind of do it just to hide their anger or their frustration. She does it because, she plays nice just to rub it in, because she wants to be nice, but underneath it, she wants you to very much realize just how much of a bitch she is. She don't even try to hide it. She holds her disdain for you in everything that she says, and it sets up a lot of great antagonism between her and Maleficent, where Maleficent has to, out of love and obligation for Aurora, who wants to get married to this old dry-ass...
Prince Vanilla.
Yeah. This old vapid.
Sorry, I actually like vanilla. He's more like tapioca.
Don't insult ice cream like that, man.
Tapioca.
Yeah, his motherfucker. This goddamn prince is a plank of wood.
Yeah, he is.
That bad, huh?
Yeah.
We're being nice.
Dry ass.
Yeah, this dry ass, no personality having prince. Like Maleficent even tells her, like, you don't need to get married. And she's thinking like, you just want to hold me and keep me to yourself. You're like, no, that mother.
Better than this.
This ain't shit. No, I just don't like him because he ain't shit. There's nothing going on underneath that crown.
Right.
At all. Just as blank. He's almost like a dog. He can barely smile. He tries to smile. Will you marry me, princess? And she's just like, what do you see in this dude?
I know.
Tell you what, why don't you just marry this tree right here?
Because the way he comes to her, he just seemed like he was another little boy in the kingdom.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the prince? Yeah, he ain't picking up no shield and sword to fight a dragon.
Yeah. Ain't no personality in there whatsoever. You know, so she has to go to this dinner and she doesn't want to be there. She knows these people are fake. King.
So it's like going to a dinner with a bunch of rich snobs.
Prince is flat as hell. The king is pussy whooped. Henpecked.
Looking like Tommy Lee Jones or some shit right there.
Yeah, ain't nothing going on at this dinner. So she's just there trying her best to be cool. And everybody else ain't even got a personality enough to even offer any offensive conversation. But this bitch at the end of the table, she keeps pushing me.
She keeps pushing
and pushing.
And nobody's, you're like, none of y'all are going to say anything.
And nobody says it. Even Aurora just sits there and don't say shit. And of course, it's at a point where she just kind of like, all right, y'all going to make me do something.
There are many who prey on the innocent, or your kind would agree.
She means humans.
She like, be cool, don't start no shit.
Yeah.
She like, catch you outside. Don't do nothing.
And the king is clueless ass. Wait, who they talking about? Wait, who did what? I ain't what.
Talking about you, King Vitamin.
Somebody said what now? Didn't know what the hell's going on. Somebody's old ass daddy.
You know, that was something I thought I would like to see more of. I thought I would love to see them just kind of having this struggle between the both of them, and that's not what happens in the film. Actually, throughout the movie, you don't even get a whole lot of Maleficent. Maleficent's story is sort of taken up by a lot of other big subplots, which are not bad. They actually are, you know, adding a lot of the term I guess would be world building to this to what they've already created with the first movie. But it's just that I just didn't find a lot of the other subplots as interesting. You don't get the thing that I will say worked with the first movie is that you get a lot of character development because this is a character that they want to retell their story. So they go in and they create a whole new origin. You get some rich background. And with this, they have way too many characters that they bring in with all these subplots that we just don't get a chance to like go in and explore that well. There's a lot of characters that pop up that there's so many, they don't even put them in the trailer. You got Ed Skrein, who plays the Magneto of fairies in this movie because he's the same species as Maleficent, and they've been driven underground. They've been driven away because of mankind and how they've conquered the fairy world, what did they call it? The Moors.
The Moors, yeah.
And so they've been kind of forced.
That's their area that they live in.
Yeah, it's the fairyland.
Yeah,
you know, and they're called the Fays, and they, you know, this species is being slowly wiped out, and their land is being taken over, but you don't get a whole lot of story with this character. The character just comes in. He's a warmonger. He doesn't like to be treated the way, you know, he's been treated by human beings.
Yeah, Ed Skrein is always he's like Paul Bettany, but who wants to fight all the time.
Right,
yeah, just angry. Yeah,
Ed Skrein. Yeah. I was gonna say, nice to see him play a different role than he usually. Oh wait,
yeah. Chiwetel Ejiofor, I can't really even tell you too much about his character, but I will tell you that he ain't got shit to do. He got one thing to do, and I hate it when they do this one thing with black characters.
Yeah.
And this is where I was throughout the movie. I said, "Damn, you brought this brother in as a big setup just so he
put all that makeup on him, the wings, the eyes."
I was gonna say that's Chewie.
Yeah, that's him, and he had nothing to do. At least if we can't get the struggle between Ingress and Maleficent, then we could at least see something with Ed Skrein and his struggle with the pacifist right here, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor. You don't even get that. That dude is in this movie just to be a 5-minute tour guide and then exit. For all the heavy stakes that they have early on in the film, and you saw some of that in the trailer, for all the things that they set up, from the dynamic between the Queen and Maleficent to the dynamic now that's set up between Maleficent and Aurora, where, you know, this whole thing of the teenager who's sassing back now and wanting to move out, you know, that would have really been cool to see how, for this character that everybody thinks is evil, how much it hurts for her to see her not only have to finally leave her protection, but also with a bunch of shitty people. And you know, and they really don't explore that. And I mean, and you saw in the trailer, there's some really good back and forth dialogue for the moments that we saw with that.
Godmother, Philip asked me to marry him.
No.
Yes.
No.
I wasn't really asking.
Nor was I.
you. No, you.
Yeah, her second no is like, no. What do you?
Yeah, I actually do like the way she just gave in and she just like, fuck it. All right, if it means that much to you.
Up your life.
Yeah, and everybody, and I guarantee the theater look like, girl, don't do this. Jesus Christ, don't do this. Is the dick that good? I would have loved to have seen that explored more because there's a lot of stuff with the family that they explore in there too. I mean, what happens when there's more tragedy than just somebody leaving? What happens when somebody in your family is a complete genocidal asshole? It is still considered to be a family film that these really heavy subjects that they bring up.
There's a lot of murder in this.
It's a lot of murder. It's war. Again, you have someone who is a genocidal racist. There's some themes that I thought were kind of cool to introduce, and they just kind of, for the sake of having a very happy and tidy ending, they
don't get me fucking started on that, because the thing about this movie is, it started out flat. Mm-hmm. But then, like you said, once we start getting into the dynamics between people, the characters, all right, it's picking up. This is the kind of thing I like to see. This will be interesting. But they can't wait because they got to start jumping in all these subplots. Some borrowed from this storyline. Mm-hmm. What's that show on Amazon? Is it Cannery Row? Or, yeah. Some taken from that. Some taken from How to Train Your Dragon 2. Yep. And then... And still, you're like, all right, how's this going to come together? And then in toward the third act, from the middle, it becomes Game of Thrones. It's Game of Thrones as much as you can sanitize it for kids. Because this stuff I'm seeing, I'm like, all right, this is from that war. This is from when they were shooting down the dragons. I mean, I was like, they were clearly influenced by that, going, guys, we can do some of this here. So yeah, they've introduced all this heavy shit, only to get to that end. That long end where it's like, yes, but because of magic, everything can be okay. Because of magic, and they're on the backdrop of all this death and loss. Yes. And everybody just kind of like, but isn't this couple cute? And, it's like, man, and look, flowers just grew. Yeah. It's even worse because you would normally say that, wow, at least the movie looked great. And you know what? It did. The visuals in here are incredible. You know what my favorite thing in this movie is? What's that? The costume design. The costume design is amazing. I could not get over looking at all these dresses. I mean, that's usually not a thing I'm thinking about, but everything that Maleficent wore, everybody, I was just like, this costume design, whoever is in charge of this, they are on point. This is amazing. I was impressed with the costume design. I was even impressed with the set design. I mean, they managed to actually go between making this look like a fairy tale world. And also, when they got to like the kingdom, it looked livable, which is why you feel kind of upset, because when they get to the special effects, now, one of the things they did pull back on, they didn't do it as much. They're centering more on the human world, or the human side of the world, than they are in the Moors with all the, the fantasy creatures, hence all the special effects. But it is cool when you see them. All these different creature designs and everything that they have going on is really cool. Even some shit that they have in here that, but man, now this is where they kind of go too far, but it's cool. Queen got a mad scientist lab. Well, Warwick Davis, the Ewok and Wicket, Willow. It was like the Batcave because she's got that head that she's got to turn. Yeah, to open the kid, make the wall pull back. Yeah, and go secret down. Passage and shit. So she's got a mad scientist lab. There's a chick that plays the organ and she uses it as a weapon. I mean, the movie gets kind of crazy, and if it was better, it would be awesome. It would be not only kind of a Game of Thrones when they're doing some of their best battles, cool, but some of this shit would be like, wow, y'all just went insane too. But all that stuff is just used again, just sort of as a big CG set piece. Yeah. This is no more storytelling, because a lot of that, and this is what we're looking at right here. A lot of the emotion weighed in on how the income of that conflict would work out. I know, and that conflict ain't shit. At that point, you might as well just be at Disneyland looking at fireworks. And it's no surprise, man. This director, Joachim Roning, whatever. It might be pronounced Joachim. What's that? Joaquin, yeah, it could be Joaquin Roning. Yeah, thank you. No stranger to throwing a shitload of special effects at the screen. He was the guy that did the
fit Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Dead Man Tell No Tales. So this movie kind of suffered from the same thing of just having way too much going on at one time. And like I said, man, it's just some of these characters, just if they're not given enough screen time to actually be fully developed, they just lack. I hate to keep pointing it out, but Prince Philip, man. And one of the things is that I'm not even going to talk about the actor. They just didn't give him much to do. But I can tell you one thing: Brenton Thwaites, he was also in that. He was also in Pirates of the Caribbean 5, I believe. Oh, was he? Yeah, he was replaced by this dude Harris Dickinson. And as much as the original Prince Philip didn't have much to do, that dude had a lot more screen presence than this guy that we got now. Yeah. Just look lost. He does. He don't even look like he know what movie he's in. He look like he just walked from one set to another.
I thought this was going to be Pirates 6.
Yeah. I know that Disney princes, not princesses, but princes, they're not the strongest characters, man. They've never really had, up until the second golden age, they never had any real personality.
True.
And, well, I guess if you want to do a throwback, you got it.
Yeah.
I studied the role.
Yeah.
You know how many Disney movies I had to watch?
I studied a blank piece of paper
to erase my personality.
But in a movie where they're actually building more character on characters that didn't have that before in the animated film, there's no excuse for what happened right there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, the prince and the king, pretty much.
The king.
You're like, boy, you just useless.
Oh, punk ass king.
Looking around like, well, I don't even know what's going on here. Yeah. What you bitches talking about?
Who ordered that? Oh, I took a ham on rye.
Yeah.
I said lunch, not launch. What y'all doing?
This king here you can even look at, you can tell where the prince got his personality from, because he just is dumb. I mean, that king is just as dumb. Yeah. I will say that the king is, again, true to even some of the more modern kings that we have in the animated movies. You know how dumb the king is in Aladdin?
Yeah.
He's kind of on that level. Yeah, just dumb.
Just kind of, thoughts are kind of cloudy.
Like, motherfucker, you were just born into being a king, because you
right. You know where you get there on your own.
You have no effect on anything at all. And the last thing here, man, the dialogue is just bad.
Yeah,
it's not
that awful painful, but it's not doing anything.
It's not
if
always,
dialogue's not doing anything, it's bad.
It's either sneering like you saw in the trailer.
Now Philip has
yellow fever.
Prince Philip has asked.
Don't ruin
my morning.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about in the beginning, how flat it was.
And then there's even points in there where it's just bad. Michelle Pfeiffer does something and everybody's shocked, and she looks at everyone and says, "This is no fairy tale." I was like,
oh no.
Yeah. Listen.
Because that was shot well, at least, that Don't Ruin My Morning.
Yeah.
That was shot well, I said that.
I'm making it sound worse than what I'm probably going to give my rap be. I mean, it's just a lot of opportunity that was not met here, that I think that could have been done better with the high stakes that they set up. They didn't follow through with that. They set up these high stakes and went and decided to go a drastic turn of tone for being very light and very family friendly. And it's like, all right, if you're gonna go dark, go dark. You can still be happy at the end, but you can't do that shit on a spin. You have to let that kind of work into itself naturally.
Yeah,
and, you know what I'm saying?
You know, a war is not going to start in one day and wrap in that one day with everybody as best friends.
A war ain't gonna start and then end with a funeral where enemies are hugging each other and crying. Or end with a wedding.
A wedding. Yeah.
I'm saying, you can have a war and have it end with a wedding on the same day, mind you.
Yeah.
Where everybody just kind of like, oh man, I f***ed up, we cool. Let's watch this chick get married. Head to reception, have a drink. It's still not enough for me to go past a high rental on this. It's not totally devoid of entertainment, and when it's intense, it's intense.
It went on a long time, and this movie's it's too close to 2 hours to do something like that.
Yeah.
I was sitting there for a long time with this big bubbly happy ending. I mean, to the point where I'm like, you almost at a point where I'm starting to suspect this is a dream sequence.
Yeah. Damn. And I was bored in the middle of this too. Some parts.
Yeah, absolutely. Full price on the costume design, but ultimately it's also it's a high rental.
Yeah, not total waste, man. I think this would be great to watch on streaming. When it comes to Disney Plus, that'll be one of the ones you cut on when you watched everything else. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, especially since you made it to the end of the video. Oh, you make me feel so wanted. I want more of you. So hit that subscribe button, get notifications, and check out our main site, doubletoasted.com. Over there, you'll find the long version of this video, along with many others, uncensored, unedited, and you'll see the live streams that we work so hard to do for you almost every night of the week. Support us at dtmerch.com. That's our store. And remember, nothing else, stay toasted.